baby.
Come on, guys, not cool. This has got to stop. This can was specifically labeled "Do Not Eat."
Was that for me?
Obviously.
Oh, usually when someone leaves a note for me, it starts out, "Dear Gummy." I'm not feeling a lot of love with this one.
All right. Dear Gummy, stop eating my food.
Don't mess with my food, sucker.
Get your hands off my cans.
Come on, bro. We're family, and families share everything.
We share? We
Share everything.
You haven't had a job in years.
It's not like giant monkeys are in high demand. Now a good-looking moose like you.
Jelly, I'm only gonna say this one time. My food is off limits. No work, no eat. Plain and simple. Either you find a job or you find a new place to live.
You mind, bro? Have you thought about anger management classes?
Whatever. All I said was that my food is off limits. I'm tired of you freeloading family members. I feel like we're one of those crazy families on the afternoon talk shows.
I'm gonna do an internet job search right now. Come on, baby. Show Daddy some love.
What's going on, Gummy Bear? You online dating again?
Ribby says I have to get a job.
Hey, cousin, find one for me too. Somewhere that will recognize and reward my strengths.
Bro, you smell like wet dog.
Ah, ladies love it. The essence of blitz.
Honey leads?
I think Seattle hates primates.
I thought you were a big fan.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Ben needs mascot.
Yo, my man.
Abel Fader. Hey, bro. Are all these people here for the mascot job?
Yeah, this joint is crazy. Look, even the mayor's here.
The mayor? Hey, you. You're the mayor, right?
Yes, I am.
What are you doing here? This is a mascot audition.
And who are you, the mascot police?
What? Did he? Listen, I think we'd all feel better if you headed back to City Hall and focused on something more important, like bringing a basketball team back to Seattle.
Ha! Yeah, like you had a chance to be the basketball mascot.
What? You? Hold it! Superhero Phoenix Jones! No! Don't tell me you're here to interview for this job too!
Calm down, citizen. I'm simply here for crowd control.
Thank God.
Now I'm going to have to ask you both to separate. One question. Is that real leather?
Please send in the next job applicant. I thank you for your
Oh my God!
Wow, okay, this is something new. Okay, let's get started. Why do you want to be the mascot for Puppy Love?
Puppy what?
Band, Puppy Love. You're interviewing to be the mascot, right?
Oh, yeah, I knew that. I thought you said Puppy Shrugs, which is a totally different thing.
Go ahead, name your favorite song.
Puppy Lovers?
Man, why would your big Wookiee-looking self want to be a mascot?
Well, I love to travel. Nothing like.
You're gonna need 2 seats on the tour bus, bro. You want to wear that hairnet?
Well,
Why do I smell beef jerky? All right, man, that's good for now. You're done.
but I didn't get it.
Great working with you. Go ahead and add me on Facebook.
So pick me up at 8. Grab Spencer, Paul, Wiley, Harrison, Mike, and Aaron. Remember to have Spencer call the girls, Leah, April, Mael, Carlicia, Carmelita, Kenita, and Sabrina. Be sure to tell them not to tell Tanya with an A, but to bring Tanya with an O. One love.
How was the audition?
No decision yet, but I've got a pretty good feeling.
Don't worry, Uncle. You got this. Oh, turn it up.
Gummy, isn't this the place you just came from?
We're here with the band Puppy Love and their manager, DJ Iceman. Mr. Iceman, has the band made a decision on who will be the new band mascot?
Well, we had some great candidates, and I'm not kidding when I tell you that this was a very hard decision.
Did you have an idea of what you were looking for going into the project?
Check this out. We were looking for someone who really, truly represented Seattle and someone who was bigger than life. I'd like everyone to welcome Puppy Love's newest mascot, Phoenix Jones.
Congratulations, Mr. Jones.
Thank you, Miss Television Reporter. I have to say I'm ecstatic. I had no intention of applying for the position when I came down to do crowd control today. But when Mr. Iceman offered me the job, I couldn't say no. I guess the good guys win again.
That's wonderful. Again, congratulations, Mr. Jones.
Thanks again, Ribby. I appreciate you coming downtown with me. I'm excited to let you know about my new career choice.
Well, I know you want to surprise me, but whatever the job is, I'm just happy you're working. And to be honest, I'm sorry if I overreacted about the whole sharing food thing.
You had a good point, and the good news is you inspired me to dream big.
Okay, so where's the job?
First, we have to pick up my new uniform. This is the place.
Welcome to Shelly. Oh, hi, Jelly.
Hey, Sully. We're here to pick up the uniform.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise. So, Jelly, package is in the back.
Outstanding. You two get acquainted. I'll be back in a flash.
So, you're a friend of Jelly's?
Yeah, long time. Good guy.
Yeah.
Joey, are you almost done?
Do you mean, am I ready?
What?
Ask me if I'm ready.
Okay. Are you ready?
Jelly, are you ready?
A better question, is the world ready for superhero David Jones?
Your new job is being a superhero?
Mm-hmm.
Is that real leather?
Superheroes are cool.
Yeah, fight. Thank you again for your patience. So, that is the first episode of Meet the Mascots. Again, we do our cartooning over in West Seattle, and now that you've kind of seen what we do, we're happy to take questions.
So I'm not an animator, but I draw a lot.
Okay.
So it's been a dream of mine to become an animator. Where would you suggest to start?
So we do summer camps over in West Seattle, again, usually in August. But the thing is that it's really easy to do animations nowadays with the programs that are available. And again, we use Adobe Flash, also called Adobe Animate. You can... there are a lot of schools that will teach cartooning in the area. I would think
Seattle Art Institute would be the first, would be, you know, the most well-known. However, they, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg, and I will tell you, as somebody that attended the Art Institute, that you have to do a lot of other classes that you are not interested in order to do the classes that you are interested in. But you don't necessarily have to go to an institute nowadays. You can find creative groups just like this. I'm betting there are a lot of people in this room that would be interested in doing meetups, and that's another thing that we wanted to talk about. Meetups, networking opportunities, times where we could get together and go over scripts, or that artists might want to work on character design, or even actually start learning the program a little bit better from some of the people like Sammy or Edward that use it pretty regularly. Yes?
What was your decision to animate dialogue on Tunes Reports as opposed to on ones as traditionally done dialogue animation?
The animation, the whole timeline thing, for those that you know how to that work with the timelines, there is we're working on a 29 frame per second animation. We're syncing that up with basically any audio that's provided to us. So as we had mentioned, some of our artists did their own recording. They didn't even need to come into the sound booth. They just did it on their iPhones. So basically, we're just working, and again, it wasn't really, I don't even think, a conscious decision. I think we just took the audio. One thing that I should mention to you is that we synced the audio not in Flash, but in Adobe Premiere. So what we did was we took the Flash files and imported those into another program so that we could sync up the animation just a little bit better, because Adobe Premiere, I find, lets you actually dig a little deeper into the edits. It's a little easier to work with the timelines in Premiere, I find. Do you do Flash yourself or animate?
I use Toon Permanent.
Oh, okay, okay. And is that what you use, Brendan?
I've done animates.
Okay.
I've heard Toon Boom is really good too.
Okay, do you have a preference?
I've never tried Toon Boom. How is Toon Boom?
Toon Boom can be confusing, but it's pretty good if you know sort of work through it. You can work with it. TV Paint most of my
Okay, so we're talking about different animating programs, which is good. So, and what was your name? Natisha, okay, nice to meet you. I'm David. So she's talking about Toon Boom, and again, we use Adobe. So if you look at a lot of the cartoons that are being produced nowadays, those are usually the two animation programs that are being used. So when you think about Powerpuff Girls, I know Toon Boom has a few of them. I'm trying to think of what other programs. Do you know that?
TV is also really common now.
Okay.
You actually can animate in Photoshop these days.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
The newest version of Photoshop? Okay.
I think it's a later version. I think I'm trying to think of I used 2012 to animate. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know when it started. Yeah.
Okay.
So like 2012, I guess 2012 and up. I think that was 2013 on mine.
Okay, so there are a lot of options out there. For those that kind of, I think there's probably a lot of people here that know cartooning, the history of it, and you know that once upon a time they used to use giant glass cells, right, that they would paint images on, and then they moved on to plastic cells, or it's not cellophane, what's the word? Someone out there knows it. But a plastic-like substance, right? And a lot of cartoons are still done using that style, but there are a lot of cartoons that are done using strictly digital programs. So again, like Powerpuff Girls that I had mentioned, SpongeBob, just about 90% of the stuff on Nicktoons is all done digitally now. So just a lot of opportunity out there once you start learning these programs. Okay, any questions for any of the panel now that you've got to see a little bit about what was going on? Do you want to guess whose voices are whose, or actually you all have cheat sheets, don't you? Or do you?
I don't think it's kind of hard
Yeah,
to tell mine.
I think it's all on there.
No, sadly not.
It's not? No
No,
cheat
it's not.
sheets? All right, who do you think this guy is? Do you think it's Sammy? I need a guy. Do you think it's Sammy? Think it's Robert? You think it's Robert? Cinnamon? Edward?
Yeah.
Edward? Clayton? David? You guys don't think it's me? Who is it?
It's David.
Yay!
He
I'm
like
awesome.
does like 3
I'm
of the
awesome.
voices.
All right, well, hey, I want to talk a little bit about networking. Anybody live in the West Seattle area? Okay. So our, where we work out of is called, at one time was called the Ginomai Art Studio. It's located at the corner of 42nd and Genesee, so within walking distance of the post office. So if you're interested in maybe working, doing some sort of partnerships or getting together, reach out to us, and we're happy to sit down. Does anybody live on the east side by Kirkland? Okay, so K-Tub is in Kirkland, and we're probably going to be doing some cartooning classes out of there. So if you want to do any meetups there, we would be open to that as well. Anything you guys want to talk about? How about raise your hand and we'll...
So can you kind of break down the process of how you put this all together?
Sure.
The production.
Sure. So from start to finish, it was all drawn in Flash itself. So basically we came up with the character sketches. We just got together and figured out what the characters were going to be. We wanted to go with sort of a Seattle theme, Seattle mascot style, without coming right out and saying these are the mascots for our Seattle teams. We came up with the character designs. Actually, am I doing all the talking? Ed, do you want to talk about it all, or do you want me to handle this?
You got it.
Okay. So the characters themselves were done all in Flash. They're all done on layers. Again, just like the old style. So this character here basically has his hair on one layer. He's got his face on the next layer, his nose, his eyes, his mouth, right? 30 different layers built up. Once we got the main characters situated, then we started writing the script out, and that's where Robert, Edward came into play on that one. Once we got the script, we got the people doing the voiceover work. That's where our voiceover artist came in. We laid the voiceovers first, we dropped them into Flash, then we did the cartoon around that, then we came back, exported that into Premiere where we actually tweaked the audio, and then exported it into an MP4. So, I think that about covers it. Anything I missed? Yeah. So the thing that's great, obviously, about digital animation, and in traditional, I think, as well, when they were painting on cells, is that you can use a lot of the same images over and over again. Different, zoom in, zoom out, small changes to, their mouth or their eyes or whatever. But, you could do a very simple cartoon and stretch it out into a few minutes with really just using a few drawings. So it's not as difficult as you might think. Next question?
Do you always start with a script, or do you storyboard?
Well, we script it out first, but yeah, you're right. We do some storyboarding too, just to come up with the different angles and that sort of thing. So yeah, when I say script, a lot of the times I mean storyboard, because we'll just be there kind of penciling it out. So good.
Sorry. How long did this take you, and what have you done with it now that it's made?
Sure. So we put this one together in about, from start to finish, from the time that we came up with the idea, I think it was probably 2 months. The majority of that time, there wasn't a lot of steady meetings, so it was kind of spread out. It was a very casual process. The actual, I think, work time, if you were to say how many hours were put into this, if we were clocking in 9 to 5, could have probably finished it in 2 weeks. So, next question.
I was hoping that everyone on the panel could answer this one.
Yes.
Well, it's kind of funny. I actually took one of David's classes a long time ago for one of the summer programs, and then I just stuck with it. There's another guy on the board that's not here. His name is Devin. He was the guy that put me on with David, and then, I don't know, we just got creative from there on, or at least for me.
Me personally, I've been into DJing since I was about 9 years old, and I've gotten pretty big around the area as far as the music scene here. I'm always running my mouth on Facebook or YouTube, and David gave me a call because we're Facebook friends, and he's like, you know what, I got something that will be perfect for you. I was like, okay, I'm with it.
I personally met David during some community engagement events, and so when I found out he was doing this, I wanted to be part of it. I'm still pushing for him to have more of a feminine energy in it to keep these knuckleheads in line. I think that's necessary to balance it out, but yeah, I wanted to be part of it, thought it would be fun.
So I worked with Dave for years, and basically if you're around him, he's going to drag you into it. You're going to be a part of it. So, and it's fun.
Me and David met a couple of years ago, and that's how we connected. And like 2 years ago it was, he contacted me through Facebook, said I had this idea, you would be perfect, and that's history.
That seems to be David's MO, to just contact me.
Yeah,
Perfect.
they make it sound like I'm the center of all this. I don't know about all that. So one thing that I will say is, for me, I've been reading comics and drawing for years. I find that cartooning, like anything else, is just a matter of doing it. You know, you can talk yourself out of just about anything if you start, really looking at what might not go right. But you got to look at what will go right. You might end up at Comic-Con, doing a panel. So, but everybody here basically has some sort of a skill, and it just, I don't think that they're really necessarily telling you everything about them and everything they bring to the table. Some of the important things about building a cartoon, though, is that you want to have people that are committed. You want to have a good team. If you've got just a couple people, you can make an industry level cartoon or video production or anything with the resources that you have today. You just have to find the right people for you. You can waste a lot of time with people that aren't going to be the right people. If you have people, with me, I grew up with a couple guys that were best friends. We were breakdancers together back in the 80s, and I always wanted to pull them into the programs that I was doing. But if they're not interested in that, you can't always make somebody, you can't always bring people into the projects you want to do. If you're all artists here, or story writers, or whatever you are, because that's your passion, you need to find people that mirror your passion, or that will at least, be there when you need them to be there. Dependable people. If you can find a team of people, dependable people that share your vision, then you can do anything. So that's the one piece of advice I'll give you. But every person here has something that they brought to the table. When you're doing cartoon animations, though, for voiceovers, you want to find people that are energetic, that project their voices, that are excited. That's just necessary. And whether that's music or whether that's voiceover.